Carlos Alcaraz, I'm going to do everything I can to win this tournament one day. The young Spaniard acknowledges the uniqueness of an event with a group stage that offers a second chance in case of defeat. Carlos Alcaraz was, after local hero Jannik Sinner, the second most acclaimed player by fans this Thursday as he entered the Risorgimento Museum in Turin, where the year's top 8 players were immortalized with the trophy. Alcaraz, 21, will participate for the second consecutive year in the ATP Finals in Turin, November 10 to 17. The capital of the Piedmont region fully embraces tennis during the 8 days of competition, with tennis-themed decor throughout the streets. I'm going to do everything I can to win the Masters one day, says the pupil of Juan Carlos Ferrero. About the Italian public's recognition of him, he adds, I like that people enjoy my tennis, they must like my game and my personality. I'm happy to feel the love from the Italian fans. In Spain, Sinner is also highly respected. Playing against Jannik in Italy will be exciting and fun. I'm looking forward to that match. He's proven himself to be the best, says Alex de Minaur, the only newcomer in the tournament and the first Australian to qualify since Leighton Hewitt. Sinner avoided discussing a potential rivalry with Alcaraz or the fact that they're not in the same group. All the best players are here, and every match will be tough and a real battle. Of course, it's special for me because I've made many sacrifices to be in Turin. My country has a soccer culture, and now tennis is also being talked about. The San Candido-born player also spoke about the AMA's appeal requesting a 1 to 2 year sanction after he tested positive for Clostebol. It's the third time I've been in this situation, and I want to stay positive. I haven't heard any updates. Daniil Medvedev, in his 6th consecutive appearance at the ATP Finals, mentioned the absence of Novak Djokovic. In some ways, it's good, in others, it's bad. Alexander Zverev said he missed Djokovic. When I start the season, my goal is to be here. Jannik Sinner criticizes the ATP Finals over a change that will benefit Carlos Alcaraz. World number 1 Jannik Sinner has criticized the ATP Finals 2024 organizers for modifying the court speed in Turin, which he says is slower than last year. This adjustment to the indoor surface seems to favor playing conditions that suit players like Carlos Alcaraz, who has struggled on faster courts, as evidenced in the recent Paris Masters 1000. The Italian, who comes to the ATP Finals with high expectations after an outstanding season, was the first player to try out the main court in Turin and quickly shared his impressions. Sinner stated that, although he performed well last year, this edition is different due to the slower surface. For Sinner, this characteristic may affect match dynamics, potentially benefiting players who prefer slower conditions, like Alcaraz. Sinner's remarks highlight his perception of the court's slowness, adding a new angle to the ongoing debate about playing conditions at major tournaments. The ATP, like other sports organizations, adjusts court characteristics according to certain standards, though not without controversy. Some feel that these changes can strategically create a more balanced spectacle, while others argue that the adjustments are unfair to players who excel on faster surfaces, where speed and aggressive play are rewarded. Alcaraz's frustration in Paris. Sinner's complaint comes shortly after Carlos Alcaraz, one of his main rivals this season, experienced a disappointing defeat at the Paris Masters 1000, where he struggled on one of the circuit's fastest surfaces. In his match against Hugo Humbert, Alcaraz looked uncomfortable and frustrated, a rare sight for the versatile Spaniard known for his adaptability. During the match, Alcaraz made numerous unforced errors, a clear sign he was struggling to adjust his game to the court's pace. Afterward, he expressed his dissatisfaction with the court speed, calling it crazy and questioning why it had been made so fast in this year's tournament. I don't want this to sound like an excuse. Hugo deserved his win, Alcaraz said in a press conference. However, he also made it clear that the conditions did not suit him at all. Alcaraz compared the Paris court to that of the Davis Cup, also played indoors but on a slower surface. According to Alcaraz, the Parisian court speed is the fastest among the Masters 1000, and he said it would have helped to have more time to adapt to that pace. His comments sparked mixed reactions in the tennis world. While some sympathized with his criticism, others emphasized that adapting to different conditions is an essential part of the professional circuit experience. Criticism and controversies. Alcaraz's remarks about the Paris Masters 1000 did not go unnoticed, sparking commentary in the tennis community. He has to accept that each court is different, some in the ATP noted, emphasizing that the variety of surfaces is one of the aspects that enrich professional tennis. Players like Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, and Roger Federer have shown their ability to adapt to all kinds of conditions, winning on various surfaces, from fast hard courts to the slow clay. This adaptability is one of the great challenges for elite players and, for many, a factor that elevates the appeal of the circuit. However, the question of whether surfaces should be modified remains. Court speed changes can benefit or disadvantage different players depending on their skills and play styles. Players with powerful shots and aggressive styles often prefer fast surfaces that allow them to impose their rhythm, while others, like Alcaraz, might find it easier to adapt to slower courts where they have more time to build each point and reduce errors. Spanish former tennis player Alex Corretja, now a tennis commentator and analyst, has shown support for Carlos Alcaraz, highlighting his confidence in the young Spaniard's potential to shine at the ATP Finals. In a recent interview with Eurosport, Corretja expressed that Alcaraz will arrive in great shape in Turin and has everything it takes to stand out in the tournament, especially after gaining experience in faster tournaments, even defeating Sinner in a final. Corretja also noted that Alcaraz has learned from his defeats and will arrive a bit fresher than in previous seasons, an important factor in a long and mentally demanding season. According to Corretja, Alcaraz is a player for big events who has matured as an athlete, handling pressure and the demands of tournaments like the Masters more effectively. Potential showdown in the semifinals or final. On Thursday, Carlos Alcaraz was drawn in the John Newcombe group at the ATP Finals, alongside Germany's Alexander Zverev, Norway's Casper Ruud, and Russia's Andrei Rublev. Meanwhile, in the Ilia Nastase group, Italy's Yannick Sinner will face Russia's Daniil Medvedev, the USA's Taylor Fritz, and Australia's Alex de Minaur. The top two players from each group will advance to the semifinals in this tournament in Turin, in northern Italy, from November 10 to 17, determined by the most victories, with tiebreakers based on head-to-head results or set and game percentages. Thus, the anticipated clash between Alcaraz and Sinner, the undisputed leaders of the new generation, would only happen in a hypothetical semifinal or final. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, because at Tennis Zone, we dedicate ourselves to bringing you the best information for the best audience. We share in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and comprehensive coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the tournament excitement with us. Plus, at Tennis Zone, we strive to provide you with high-quality, up-to-date content about players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant events in global tennis.